so happy to be here. So I just want to do a double check, Yasmin, that when people, you're co-hosting, so when people want to be admitted, you'll do it. Okay, awesome. Okay, well, first of all, I want to say I'm really glad to be here with Digital Nest. I've been a huge supporter since the beginning. I've been watching and following your growth and all the amazing things you're up to. And how cool is it that you guys are, I think that you're interested in self-care practices. One of the reasons why I said yes to doing this is because acupressure and Qigong are the branches of Chinese medicine that I can teach you to do on your own, because you might not want to get needles, or you might not want to taste those nasty herbs, although they're amazing. And it's timely. So I'm going to teach you some really practical things today to get you started in. The thing is about the pandemic is that we were afraid because we really didn't have the tools. You don't learn this in school on how to take care of yourself. But if you do the things that I teach you today, you can feel more confident, more safe to then be able to engage with other people, because you're not going to be so concerned with things you can't control, which is some bacteria or some virus outside. You can do so much internally to manage and recalibrate your energetic system. And we'll go through that today. So I want this to be empowering. And I'm really grateful that we're here. I love Santa Cruz County. Just a very short background and why I've got into medicine is that I was right out of Syracuse, right out of my undergrad. I bought a one-way ticket to San Francisco because I heard it was a really cool city. I didn't know anything about it. I got hired at Levi Strauss, the jean company. And I got a call saying my sister got 3 months to live. Okay. And you have to understand in 1995, if there's multiple doctors in Boston, hospitals, you listen to what they're saying. But what I couldn't get my head around, and you might feel this way too, is that how can you give a human being a finite sentence looking at numbers on a piece of paper? Okay. I really couldn't get my head around it. I was not into, I drank Coca-Cola and I was doing bong hits. And I had no aspect of health. Okay. My vegetables was the lettuce on my hamburger. I'm just being really honest. So the deal is this: I went home, packed up my life in 4 days, got into nutrition and herbal medicine and energy healing. And I helped her heal. Okay. So I've done this multiple times. Unfortunately, most people come to see a doctor like me when they've gotten a diagnosis or it's stage 3 or 4 cancer. Okay. I'm going to give you one more story. My brother had a tumor behind his tongue. And if you know about the location of a tumor behind your tongue, you can't really do surgery, and it's hard to do chemo or radiation. Okay. So they gave him about 6 months to live. All right. I was able to shrink the tumor in 3 weeks. Okay. With herbal medicine. So I just want you to know that we have to view ourselves as an integrative, holistic being. This is what I want to impart to you, because I've seen it all the time. And I really didn't think I was going to be a doctor. Actually, I thought I was going to be a lawyer because I wanted to protect the environment for the animals. But I'm glad I went into medicine, because my main job is to remind you a couple things. Number one is I want you to get really good at asking questions, especially when you get scared because there's someone official in a white coat telling you something really sacred about your own body. But I'm going to teach you today things that you can do on your own every day, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is, so you can really continue to empower yourself around these self practices. I know that taking time to take care of yourself takes time, but you can do it. And I really want to support that. So, like Melissa said, thank you, Melissa and Liberty Rising, for hosting me. I want to get into what I want to impart with you today. But this is not me just lecturing to you. I want you to participate. This is going to be some activity. So I'm really excited. So I'm going to share my screen. I got a presentation. I know some people really like to look at some visuals. So as I mentioned, and as Melissa mentioned, I'm going to be sharing with you how to do some acupressure, how to do some Qigong for stress reduction and to boost your immune system. So again, thank you so much, Melissa. I'm Dr. LeTa. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine. I did 14 years after high school to become a primary care physician in California. And I love what I do. I love to remind people the power that made the body can heal the body. And Mother Earth has everything that you need to heal and to feel amazing, to feel supported. So yeah, really excited to share with you some things. Now, first of all, I want, raise your hand. Let me know if you've experienced Chinese medicine. Have you experienced acupuncture? You're more than welcome to use the chat. I know some of you are sitting back. Okay, I see one hand, two hands. Okay, amazing. So what can I say? Well, Chinese medicine, it's an ancient yet completely modern healing system. Okay. The best thing I can say, it has very insightful wisdom, and it has this ability to understand and address your individual health needs, because we're all different. Chinese medicine allows you to really empower yourself to understand how to connect your mind, body, and spirit. We really say it's a mind, body, spirit continuum. It's not necessarily a connection. We view it as one energy body. Okay. And what's amazing about Chinese medicine is it teaches you how to live your life in balance, in wellness, right? In relaxed energy, presence, and in harmony. And why is this? Because your experience in life right now is how you feel. It's how you're naming things, right? So it can be applied. Chinese medicine can be applied to help you literally address any health issue, no matter what year it happened, or if it happened last week, because it's rooted in unchanging natural law. We literally address the root causes. Okay. So there are many branches. So Melissa mentioned 5 branches right in our hometown. The 5 branches are acupuncture, herbal medicine. You'll see it on the top left, Tuina, Qigong, and food. And what's really not taught at 5 branches is feng shui and cosmology, which is more of the astrology. But I want to go back to Tuina just to make sure you know it's the modality of medical massage. Qine San is massage, but it's specifically abdominal massage. Okay. And then Qigong and Tai Chi are technically the fitness aspect of Chinese medicine. But also, every branch has an underlying medical system. For instance, if a patient has a heart issue, I might go in and change the location of where their bed is, where they're sleeping. Okay. So little things like that. Everything is an underlying medical system. And then if you were to see a Chinese practitioner, they might use, that list of modalities there, and then some other techniques. All right. So I want to share with you about the yin and yang. And this is just fundamentals. So yin and yang is literally the birth of all things. And the reason I wanted to put the 5 elements there is that 5 elements are literally the base to understanding, in Chinese medicine, the organs, the relationships, the connections, how we should live according to the natural seasons. So it informs us, nature, like when we study nature, we study animals, it informs us how to live to be in harmony with our environment. And environment can mean the season that you're in, the weather, etc. So hopefully that makes sense. So one of the first things I want to share with you is this concept called Weichi. Okay. In Chinese medicine, it's your first line of defense against any external pathogens that could cause illness or disease. So when I say Weichi, just think immune system or protective qi. So the stronger, as you can imagine, or more nourished that your Weichi is, the healthier and more resistance you're going to have to these external pathogens. So gosh, I can't go into everything that I want to teach you today because I'm so excited. But I will say that your protective qi is controlled by your lungs, right? They're a very sensitive organ. They're the first organ that's going to be susceptible to an invasion once a pathogen enters. But Chinese medicine's whole premise is to focus on preventing disease and illness from occurring in the first place. This is why what I teach you today, if you practice it, hopefully you will absolutely not get sick. Now, it's so much easier to maintain health than to course correct it once you have disease or don't feel good. And gosh, still, with our current state of affairs, we all know how valuable our immunity is and how important it is to be focused on building and cultivating your own qi. So last thing to really say is, along with Chinese medicine's view of prevention, part of that, it's very important to limit any possible exposure to any external threats. Okay, this is kind of why sometimes, we wear a mask, we do what we need to do. Chinese medicine, we interpret this focus on what you can control as your own well-being. And the more taxation that you have on the body, the less resources you have for your immune system and overall function. So you want to lessen it. So if you have back pain, or you have eczema, or you have, dry eye syndrome, like the more things that are happening with your body, again, the less resources you have to deal with something if it really comes. Okay. So has anyone experienced, or is anyone already practicing acupressure? Not yet. Okay. One of you. Okay. Not yet. Well, this is exciting. So acupressure is a massage therapy technique based on the theories of traditional Chinese medicine. And basically we use our finger instead of a needle to move qi. When I say qi, I'm talking about life force energy. And we go to specific spots on the body, and they're called acupressure points, but they're also known as acupuncture points and acupoints. We just nickname them. All right. So these acupuncture points are physical locations where chi can be accessed. Okay. It's where chi converges. So they did a study at Stanford. If I put a needle here or press here, it's going to be very different if I press it an inch down the arm. Okay. So very specific points. And what happens is that things are supposed to be flowing. So if you think of a garden hose, the water is supposed to be flowing through the garden hose. But what happens if there's holes in the garden hose? There's leak of energy. Or if there's knots, there's blockages. And what happens with our energy, especially if we sit a long time, you think about the hips, right? I always tell people about plumbing. It's like, what happens with the plumbing? It's hard to go at the corners. And so this is why a lot of people have joint issues. But in a very simple way to explain it is that you get congested or stagnant energy. Okay. So the acupressure, when you start pressing and doing a circle motion on these points, it promotes this unobstructed chi flow for health, for well-being. And then of course, in this case, to boost your immune system. Okay. We're also going to release tension. So that's important. So acupressure is essentially a method of sending a signal to your body to turn on its own self-healing or regulatory mechanisms. All right. So normally chi is going to just circulate through your natural pathways, and they're called meridians. But over time, or for whatever reason, it stops. Okay. And it doesn't function. So blockage of this flow, blockage of the chi really causes this imbalance of yin and yang. And your body doesn't function optimally. It takes so much energy to make it work. And that's what I don't want you to do, because this is oftentimes why we're tired in the afternoon. Okay. All right. So a couple other things. So acupressure can also help correct functional imbalances. Okay. So when you don't have flow over time in the same meridians, you're going to start seeing symptoms. Patients will come in and say, I have ear ringing. I've been really afraid lately. I have low back pain or knee pain. And I say, all of those random symptoms point to one thing in Chinese medicine. So we have this ability to make the connections. And this is why when you start to do these practices on your own that I'm going to teach you, you can feel really confident that you're not going to one day wake up suddenly with something. Okay. Because we all know that if you wake up suddenly with something, it didn't happen just overnight. All right. So let's go into how to administer acupressure. So basically you use a deep, firm massage in a circle, and I actually like to normally do clockwise. It kind of depends on each point, and I'll walk you through that when we do it. So when you massage the acupressure points, you want to be relaxed. So see how my shoulders are up? Okay. We want the shoulders down. We want to be breathing, right? We want to be in a comfortable position. And once you find the point location, you can close your eyes, right? You can do visualizations of feeling good or releasing energy or stress, and really being present in your body. Okay. And you can repeat the massage as often as you like. There's no limit to the number of times you do it. And besides massaging these points on yourself, you can always do them on someone else. Okay. And I would absolutely suggest that if you feel comfortable doing that. And then the best thing about it is you can teach someone else to do it on you. And it's really amazing when you receive it. Okay. I would love to just get started. So the first protocol is acupressure for immune system. Now, you're going to have access to these slides in the PDF form, and also you can follow along with the videos I've made for you. So you don't have to remember anything. But this protocol is going to be 5 points on the body to help boost immune system. Okay, so the first point is large intestine 4. And before we even get into the point location, I want to remind you that we're going to do 2 points on the left and 3 points on the right, but you can switch that every time. So for instance, we're going to go to large intestine on the left, but tomorrow I might do large intestine on the right. And if you have any questions, feel free to, I can answer them now or at the end, or you can put it in the chat. All right, so large intestine 4. So you'll notice from the image, so it's called tiger's mouth, right? Just because of the hand looks like a tiger, and we go to the tiger's eye, okay? And if you just clasp your hands, you'll see where the thumb ends, and that's where the point is. Another way to think about this is that if you were to close your hand, you'll see the mound, okay? So if you were to look at your hand, you see the mound. It's very similar to a baseball mound, right? The pitcher's mound. It's like, it doesn't look very big, but if you actually stand on the mound, you can see everything around. And so this point, you know, also can help with seeing better, all right? Pain of the eye. So I gave you a list of the actual point location, but what is it good for? So I want you to find the location and start making a nice circular motion. And the way that it works for this particular point is you massage it in a counter clockwise direction, okay? If I'm using my left hand, if I'm using my right hand, it's going to be in a clockwise fashion. And my understanding from my school is that it doesn't really matter. You're stimulating the point as long as you're getting your energy down, which is a deep pressure, and using your breath. Okay. This is spiritually the letting go point, letting go of toxins, letting go of stress, moving the chi, especially if you sit too long. Okay. But specifically, it's known for headache. It's known for pain in the neck or any part of the body. It can be good for, you know, swelling and painful of the eye. It's also, because of the meridian, goes to the nose. So it's really good for, we call it epistasis, nose bleeding, nasal obstruction, sinusitis, toothache, sore throat. So this point is really good when you're beginning to catch a cold and you're actually having symptoms, okay? You're really wanting to let those symptoms go. It could be, again, sore throat, stiff neck, you know, you're really starting to have that, okay?
Can I interrupt for a second and ask if this point is behind the bone, closer to the wrist, or in front of the bone, closer to the mound?
It's closer to the mound.
Thank you.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I mean, you'll find that it is good for constipation. If you really want to get you're having a hard time with stools. I mean, it's I could give you a list of all the things it's good for. And oftentimes when I have people massage it, it's tender. Okay. And so feel free to go to the other hand and start rubbing around, and you'll start to feel like the meat of the muscle there, and you massage it. Good. All right, let's go to the next point. You guys are doing great. So it's spleen 10. This point is literally going to strengthen your immune system. Okay. So I'll step back a little bit, and this is why I gave you the image. So you're going to find your knee, and it's 2 inches on the inner.
Do you want to maybe take off the slide for a second, or just so they can see you better, and then put it back on? Or do you want?
Yeah, I can do that. I didn't even think of that. Thank you. Okay. So basically you're going to find your knee, and on the inside of the knee, you just go 2 inches above. And from the picture, obviously it's a lot easier if someone else does it on you. And so what I would say is cup your knee, and wherever your thumb is, let's see, like put your hand here and then put your thumb, and you'll find it. And this point technically could be sore, although there's other points that are going to be more sore. Okay. So you're going to just massage it, and you do want to put some pressure. Okay. There is this technique where you want to stimulate the point. You want to activate the point. Okay. So let me share with you the amazing things about this point. I did mention that it strengthens the Weichi. Okay. So, but more importantly about that's the immune system, is that it's a big blood point. And what I mean by that is when you have toxins, when you have a pathogen that comes into the body, we know that your body heats up, right, to fight infection, inflammation. So this point is going to cool the blood. It's going to deal with any sort of skin diseases, heat toxins in the blood. Again, we view the pathogens as toxins. And so this point is going to make sure that think of it as a cleansing your blood point when you're getting a pathogen, but it's also going to strengthen or tonify your immune system and your Weichi. Okay. So really amazing point to build immune and to also make sure that we're cleansing and cooling the blood of any sort of toxicity that got into the system. All right. So on one side, we did Li4 and spleen 10. And on the other side of the body, we're going to move to lung 5. Okay. So the easiest way to find this is to bend your elbow. So I'll stop my screen first. So you're going to bend the elbow. Okay. So if I were to have my hand, I want you to look at where the thumb is and draw a line all the way in. Okay. And you'll notice the crease on the outside. Okay. Now, if I were to do the pinky, there we go. The pinky would go on the inside. Okay. So you want to go on the outside, right? So this way, right? In this divot. Okay. And that's lung 5. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right, so it's on the transverse cubital crease on the radial side, right? The thumb side, okay? And this is you'll feel that tendon, right? You feel like you can pluck it like a guitar string. That's your tendon of the biceps brachii, okay? And again, we're slightly flexed. So what is this point good for? So I want you to start massaging it. The way that I massage it is with my pointer finger, right? You can do it on your thumb, but it's a little hard to access, okay? So if you're getting a cough, if you're getting a sore throat, if you feel like a fullness in your chest, okay? You can also, a lot of these points are good for locally, and I'm not really addressing that too much, like pain of the elbow and the arm and whatnot, because I'm really focusing on immune, boosting immune and reducing stress. But basically this point is gonna clear any sort of heat, because we think sore throat is a heat issue. It's going to help descend we call it lung chi, because if you have shortness of breath, right, and you're feeling fullness of the chest, your chi is going in the opposite direction. We want it to go down, and it's going to get rid of phlegm and mucus from the lungs, right? So when we start to get sick, we create, if you cough, you can hear the mucus in the lungs. So you should massage this point when you're feeling like you have phlegm in your lungs, if that makes sense. Okay. All right, so next one, let's go to lung 7. So this is located on the wrist of the inside arm. And because I start my screen, I can't see me. Let me move it over a little bit. Okay, so what I like to do is take your hands and bring them together, and where your pointer finger ends, okay, the top. So I'll move this here. And where that pointer finger ends is the point, okay? So it's above the wrist, and like I said, as soon as you interlock your fingers, you'll find that depression, okay? And you'll feel it. It's in between the two bones, and oh my God, this is an amazing, amazing point. Let me share with you what it's good for. I'm going to stop my screen. So this one's a pretty easy one to find. I mean, I didn't make up this protocol. This is like a 4,000 year protocol. And so luckily these points are pretty easy to find. The stress reduction ones are a little bit harder to find, but lung 7. So this is also for cough. It's also for pain in the chest if you're having asthma, sore throat, okay? It's going to help strengthen your Weichi, your lungs to function better, and it's going to help clear heat, okay? So some of the points, if you have heat issues like sore throat or cold issues like sneezing, running nose, it's very different. We view temperature as a really important point depending on which points to use or which herbs to give, because a cold in Chinese medicine doesn't necessarily mean a cold. It could be a heat cold, if that makes sense. All right, and the last point is stomach 36. Okay, so I'm going to stop my share. So this point is very well known. For a lot of different reasons. It literally, when they did a study at Stanford, it increases white blood cells. Okay, so those are the cells in your body that fight infection. So those are important. So it's located 1 finger breadth, and I'll step back. Let's see if I can, well, it's a little bit hard with this one because it's on the outside of the leg. Okay, so what the best way to do it is, and I know you can see I'll show you the picture, is find this bone right below the knee on the outside. Okay, it's pretty obvious, this bone. You're going to go 1 inch down and 1 inch in, okay, in that depression. Okay, and I'll bring back the slide because you can see the picture. You can also view it as taking your hand and doing 3 inches below your knee, and that also is a good way to do it. So let me share that. All right, so right below the kneecap, see how you can just put your fingers there, not your thumb, and you'll be able to find stomach 36, which is, again, 1 inch down and 1 inch in. So what is it good for? Well, besides literally increasing white blood cells and boosting immune system, it's going to strengthen your spleen and stomach because it's a stomach point. Why is this important? Well, if you know that the gut has to also do with the immune system. Why? Because there's receptors in the gut for the immune system. Then it's important to know that your gut health is also going to be related to your immune system health. So it's going to benefit your stomach and spleen. It's going to get rid of cold. Okay, so this is where that temperature comes in again. Often if we have very cold stomach, we could have loose stools, but it also takes more energy to digest food because you have to stoke the digestive fire, right? So it's going to strengthen when you rub this point, it's going to strengthen your body. It's going to regulate your chi. So the chi that you get from food, it's going to really help digest and absorb the nutrients in the food because those nutrients actually help your immune system. Okay, like extracting the vitamin C from the vegetables you eat. Okay, so again, stomach 36 is also going to raise your energy, raise the heat in the body because when you have a cold, you're cold. And then if you have any sort of dampness or extra fluid retaining in the body, it's going to be good for that. So stomach 36. So what I would like to say to you before I get in, I'm not going to go into the stress points, is that you can do the 2 points on the left, the large intestine 4 and the spleen 10. And then on the right, you can do the lung 5, lung 7, and stomach 36. And you can rub them for 10 seconds. You can rub them for a minute and move on to the next point. And then again, you can alternate sides. And I will make sure Melissa has the PDF so you guys can follow along as well as the videos for you to do it on your own. But I really want to stress that when you start practicing, and again, you don't have to memorize the points, you'll start to really see the benefits of how amazing it is to feel like you're doing something to boost your immune system. So for time's sake,
a question.
Yeah.
I just have a question.
Okay, great. Let them go first and then I'll ask mine. Go ahead, other person.
Okay, so what's the general rule of thumb in terms of which fingers you use to apply the pressure on these different areas? Is it usually the thumb? Because I know you mentioned the index finger for one of them. Like how should we think about that?
Yeah, great question. So the way that I was taught is any finger. So you just want to be comfortable. You don't want to move. It's not just your thumb and then you're raising your shoulders and trying to get in an uncomfortable position. So literally it's more about the pressure and just doing a circular motion. So any finger's fine.
And then since everyone's new to finding these points, if they're uncertain, like where the exact point is, can you just like rub close in that area and just like rub around till you find the tender bits and then just like go further into that? Because usually the points are tender, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, especially if you're having a symptom, my gosh. Yes, I can't tell you enough. There is a surface area. I mean, you have to understand an acupuncture needle is the size of a thick piece of hair. So, so it's a very thin needle and it is very precise, but it's forgiving because there is a surface area. And again, the acupressure point is on a meridian. right? So you're feeling the tenderness or feeling even like an actual difference in texture, which we'll call stagnation or a nodule, absolutely rub it. And again, I'll stress it again, and breathe and relax and know that you're doing something. You're sending a bigger message to your body saying, I'm grateful for you. You work day in and day out for me. I want to make sure that I'm working with you. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Does everyone understand what a meridian is? If you don't, maybe raise your hand and she can explain that again. I can't see other people, so can you see them?
Okay. I don't see any hands up.
Okay.
Lines of
Can you just
energy.
explain it really quick, like just super briefly?
Yeah. So meridians are lines of energy, right? So if I were to take myself and paint lines on me, it's where specific energy flows. They do overlap with your blood vessels, but not exactly. They're like the gallbladder will wrap around your head and they look a little funny. But how the Chinese masters discovered them is actually by doing Qigong and also herbal medicine. They would eat a seed and then they would notice like a bubbly, they'd feel where the seed would go in the body. And so they would start to map it. And I mean, this took hundreds of people, thousands of people to figure out because it's over 5,000 years old, right? So it's pretty profound. So that was the acupressure for immune. And I'll show you the acupressure for stress. But like I mentioned before, is that we're not going to go into this for time's sake, because I really want to get into Qigong and have you practice that with me. So you will get a video and a PDF on specifically how to do these acupressure points for stress. And they're amazing. And I strongly recommend that. But why did I do that? Well, the acupressure for stress is because stress weakens your immune system. So it's kind of like, yeah, I want to boost my immune, but if you have stress, we have to deal with that first. Okay. And I will make sure that I actually had a wrap up slide for immune and I actually don't see it on here. So I will make sure it's on there. Okay. Well, you guys are doing great. I know this is a lot of information. I really appreciate your attention. We're going to get into some Qigong if that's okay. So who's heard of Tai Chi? And who's heard of Qigong? Okay, and have you tried Qigong or Tai Chi before? A little bit? Yeah, okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop sharing my screen if that's okay. Because I wanna stand up. Let's see, and I'm gonna move my chair. And if it's okay, I'm going to actually, for this practice, I hope that you guys are going to join me. I'm going to actually take off my jacket. Okay, I'll step back a little bit. Can you see me and hear me okay, Melissa?
Yep.
All right. So this is Qigong. I first want to start off with a definition, okay? So Qigong literally means energy cultivation practice in Chinese, okay? It sees our thoughts, our emotions, and the physical body as an integrative energy source that can be mastered and cultivated by you. So in practice, you're going to realize today the power of all of these three energy sources combined. So Qigong combines the benefits of physical exercise, meditation, while we're going to strengthen the body and the mind at the same time, okay? Qigong also teaches you how to connect with the energy surrounding you, so your environment, your people, and relate it to your own internal energetic experience. This becomes very supportive in everyday life. So this energy cultivation happens through a series of movements, okay, that have been tried and tested for thousands of years, incorporating slow, mindful movement. We're going to do breath work. We're going to do visualization to tone these energy pathways that I mentioned that are called meridians, integrating all levels of your body, your mind, and your spirit. So Qigong is good for health and well-being. Hold on. It's good for more energy, less stress. And it's been scientifically proven as disease prevention and management. Like I said, they did a lot of studies at Stanford for modern ailments, including emotional distress, right? That's huge. So not everybody has time for all three: workout, yoga, meditation, right? So that's what's amazing about Qigong, is that you can, if you don't have time for all three, you could do it right here. All right. Anybody have any questions so far? Okay. So are people doing workout or yoga or meditation right now? Some of you? Okay, but not all three. Okay. All right. Okay. So if you have emotion, you realize your relationship with your chi is reflected in your breath. And since gong means skill, my question is to you, how skillful are you able to work with your own energy of your body, mind, and emotions? So I also call Qigong a moving meditation. And if you have a hard time, like me sometimes, meditating while sitting still, this could be the thing for you. So of the branches of Chinese medicine, Qigong, I mentioned, is the fitness branch of Chinese medicine, okay? But I want to remind you that every branch is an underlying medical system, okay? All right, so let's get started. The last thing I was going to say is that it's for all ages. You can sit or stand. You don't have to wear anything in particular or use any equipment, and it can be practiced at any intensity level that suits your health and needs. Now, today we're going to do Qigong series to reduce stress and benefit your immune system. So first, let me break down the breathing first. So when you inhale through your nose and exhale out of your mouth, right? This type of breathing is to get rid of, right? Stress, right? So in the nose, exhale out of the mouth. You're getting rid of toxins, you're getting rid of stress, okay? When you inhale in the nose and out the nose, you're strengthening, you're tonifying, you're boosting the immune system, okay? We're not gonna do any in and out the mouth today, just to let you know. We do that in other breath practices, okay? But what this type of breathing that we'll do is we're gonna let go and purge excess and get rid of toxins, but we're also going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose to strengthen and tonify, which is going to boost the immune. Okay. I really know that I want to strengthen our immune system. That's one of my goals for today. All right. So are we ready? Let me move this here. All right. So let's get out of our heads and into our bodies. Hands over the abdomen. And as you inhale, allow the abdomen to expand. And on the exhale, the abdomen returns to the spine. Good. Find yourself getting centered. This is a great time to set an intention for your practice and our time together. Good. Let's move our hands over your ribs. So this is where your liver and gallbladder meridian pass through your mid cavity, and they're affected by stress. So we're always breathing into our hands. It's an easy way for our mind to know where to focus on. So expand the ribs, rib cage on the inhale, and on the exhale out of the mouth, right? So seeing stress and toxins leave the body, and make sure your shoulders are down. Good. Now put both your hands on your lungs, right? Over your chest. Yeah. Good. Breathing into the lungs. So I actually like to do a little bit of a side stretch. Our lungs are three-dimensional. And I even often will arch my back to really make sure that I'm breathing into those lungs. And then on the exhale, you can gently press on the lungs to make sure that any stale air at the bottom of the lungs are getting out, okay? You can also visualize a charcoal color, the bottom lobes, like just exhaling and just visualize that color, toxins leaving your body, especially if you smoke or you have secondhand smoke. That's going to be important. Okay. So you can stay breathing here for as long as you like when you do this practice on your own. Okay. The main idea is to get connected to your breath, right? So you're breathing into your full body and you're releasing any thoughts. The last one is you put your hands over your low back. Okay. And you take a breath again into the palms. This is why I love to put the palms on the body, because again, it tells my brain where to go, what to focus on. So in the beginning, kidney breathing is a little bit hard because it's not moving like the chest or the abdomen. So just take a breath here, and it's a very slight movement when you breathe into the kidneys, into the low back. And relax. All right, so we're gonna do wave breathing. So you're gonna have one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest, and you're gonna breathe into the abdomen and then the chest. So you can also rock forward and back, okay? Like a wave, okay? So we're gonna stay here a little bit, and you can go as slow or as fast as you want, but this is full body breathing, okay? And I would suggest, just for a moment, if you feel comfortable, close your eyes and really get into your body. Find that center and notice how you're mirroring nature. Could be water, in and out. Feel the movement of the breath washing all of your internal organs. Breathing. It's good to keep an immune system strong and stress down. And, TCM started as a preventative health medicine. So good, breathing in. And, a concept to remind you here is the Weichi, the protective Qi in Chinese medicine. Think of it as your immune system, because we all want to have strong Weichi and keep the stress down. And the goal is sustained, relaxed energy. This is what we're cultivating with our practice today. All right, so next we're going to do a form called Buddha holds up the earth. Now in Qigong, we have names. They're kind of silly sometimes. And they're names of the forms so they can remind us what they are. So this is Buddha holds up the earth. All right, so let's see, can you see me? I'll position this down a little bit. There we go. All right, so we're going to do this as a breathing and lung exercise. So inhale, arms up, hands facing towards each other. Good. Breath still moves from your belly up to your ribs to your chest. Stop at the top. Hold for a second. And then on the exhale, move your hands over your chest, over your ribs, and stop at the belly. Good. And again, there's a saying in Chinese medicine and Qigong, straight but not straight. So the hands, it's more of a spiral. Inhale, come up, press through the thumbs at the top, and then back down. Good. Bottom of the exhale. Exhale a little bit more. So we're going to be lengthening out the breath. It's a great way to build up the lung qi and the immune system. Good. Here's what I found. Exhale down. Now, as a reminder, or a teaching moment, when we have stress, it will often change our breathing to shallow. Right? So in this practice, we're cultivating ways to have deeper breath without a lot of effort. Good. Less effort, more energy. Good. And I want you to really feel the opening of the lungs. In the nose. And then you can also do out the nose. Good. Now I want you to hold your hands off the body over your lungs. Close your eyes for a moment. And I want you to notice how your body feels. All right, so next, so take a stance that is about shoulder width and bring your hands up around the head. So we're gonna open up the chest and tuck the tailbone. This is called spinal cord breathing. So I'll do it from the front first. Open up the shoulders and bring your hands up around the head, open up the chest, and then round the back and tuck your tailbone under, okay? So the spinal cord breathing, it's gonna clear tension and tightness out of the back of the body. And I'll turn to the side. Good. So tuck that tailbone, inhale up, spread those wings, chin up. Good. Tuck the chin to the chest, tuck the tailbone, round the upper back. Good. Inhale up and exhale forward. Good. We are pumping the spine, spinal cord breathing, getting that cerebral spinal fluid to nourish all those discs. Good. Stay with the breath. Good. Inhale up. Good. And exhale back. Now we can go side to side. So you're going to inhale to the side. You can just pick a side. And exhale to the center. Good. This twisting motion is going to massage those internal organs. Detoxing as we exhale out of the mouth. And opening up the liver gallbladder meridian on the side. This is going to help reduce stress here. This is a good one to do if you notice yourself sighing throughout the day. Have you ever heard someone at work sigh? They do a deep sigh. Good. It's also a great way to energize the nervous system. So this works with the breath, the first place we bring energy into the system. Good. So inhale as you open and exhale and round your back and tuck your tailbone under. Good. Bring some mindfulness into the movement by feeling the way your spine moves. Now, from studying or sitting at a desk or computer, often the back holds a lot of stress and tension. So spinal cord breathing is a great way to release and energize your back. So I want you to synchronize the breath with the movement. Good. Exhale and round. Inhale and open. So now we're just going to do it a little quicker. So let's just go back to the front. So let's do it a little quicker. Pump some energy and circulation into the spine. Good. Exhale as you round the back. Inhale as you open the chest. You can go as fast as you want. We optimize the circulation and the access to internal energy through flexibility, movement, and breath. The mind and body are intimately connected. When you do movements, I want you to pay attention to your body. Your mind drops into the present moment. Automatically, the thoughts clear, the worries release, you can go side to side, and we feel more connected than centered. Good. Relax your arms down to your sides. Let's take a nice deep breath. Now let's begin a movement called shaking. Shaking is a wonderful way to release old energy, a wonderful way to transform stress back into vitality. You see athletes and children doing a lot of shaking in their lives. Right before an event, an athlete will shake the body loose as a way to access peak performance. Now, as students or, workers and faculty, we need peak performance to get access to our best energy for the day. So a little shaking here, bounce your heels, relax your upper back, your neck and shoulders. Anywhere you're holding tension, shake into those areas. Good. Feel a release in the neck and the upper back. Shake the back of the head. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhale out. Good. Good. Let go of any stress, any worries, anything weighing heavy in the shoulders or mind. Let it all go. Now, relax your wrists and your arms. Often through a lot of working, studying, you know, the neck and shoulders get tight, right? So I can lift up and down, up and down. And you can use your breath, right? And then for computer users or, you know, pad users, or you're swiping, you can flick the wrists, right? So you can flick the wrists. This is wrist tilt as you shake. And then if you do it the other side, you want to just be a little gentle. You can do a little firmer on this side with the palms up, right? And then a little bit gentler here. And that's a way that you can really get some nice, good health there. All right, so let's relax, bring our hands down to the body and feel the lightness. It could be electricity, buzzing, tingling, going down the arms and hands at the sides, nice and relaxed. Notice how your body feels. Let's knocking. Now we'll knock at the low back. We'll wake up the energy through the lower body. So tap and knock on the lower back, the kidneys and the tailbone area. Now this area gets tight or blocked when we sit too long, right? From lots of hours of, you know, studying or working, lots of hours at the computer, up and down. Now I want you to slap this area with a flat hand. Okay, that's going to be a little different to slap the area, okay? Now, I want you to come down the legs, right? Back of the legs, and come up on the inside of the legs. Down the back of the legs and up the inside of the legs. Good, I want you to do it 3 times. Down the back of the legs, up the inside. And what we're doing in terms of Qigong is we're following the meridian lines, the river of energy that circulates through the body. Now, to wake up the Qi means to wake up the body's internal power and strength. Now I want you to knock with a light, loose fist at the front of the hips, okay? Good, then slow it down. Bring your hands to your sides. Take a deep breath. And feel the energy awakening inside of you. Good, let's knock up and down the sternum. Okay, so up and down the sternum. You know, you technically can knock over the lungs. I mean, it just depends on your comfortability or how it feels. And you want it to be with some pressure, but you don't want to hurt yourself. Now, stress gathers in the heart center. So to transform it into energy and vitality, you want to knock because it disperses any sort of anxiety and stress. Feel the Qi moving through the chest. Oh my God, you guys are doing great. Good, so feel that Qi moving through the chest. Now, let us stop and put your palms over your chest. Just hold off the body. And let's close our eyes. And I want you to feel the activity on the inside. That's the Qi moving. So every time we do a Yang activity, which is movement, we do a Yin activity to connect and feel that movement. Good. All right, let's clear the lines of tension out of the arms and the upper back and shoulders. So I want to inhale and gather energy. So palms are going to face forward, okay? And we're going to spiral the arms out in front of you. So the pinky is towards the front of the body. So in order to release your neck, let's drop the left ear to your left shoulder. Inhale. And then on the exhale, gently move your head forward and back. Good. Focus on relaxing that line of tension. Now make sure you are almost touching your chin to your chest And when you go back, I like to close my eyes and open my mouth and go really slow so I can go as far back as I can, extending my neck. Okay, let's switch to the other side. So take your right ear to your right shoulder, and we're going to inhale. And then on the exhale, move your head forward and back. Great. Put your arms by your side and notice how your body feels. All right, let's open the liver meridian with a side stretch. Now let's open up the sides. So I think we've all done this with exercises, do a side stretch, but the liver gallbladder meridians run through the sides of the body. So we're just gonna go to the side and let's take a breath into that rib cage like we did in the beginning. Other side. Inhale in the nose, exhale the mouth. Again, we're releasing stress, constrained liver energy, frustration, anger, right here. All right, so now let's open up the sides of the lungs with a twist. Now take the upper arm and bring it behind the back, okay? Look behind your shoulder. You're gonna come back to center, hand floats across the space, exhale and press, okay? Side to side. Inhale back to center, exhale and press side to side. Wringing out any tension or tightness in the upper body, right? Activating energy through your spine. Working the energy into the upper back area. Remember that your lungs are three-dimensional. So you're activating the lungs. I want you to be breathing into the lungs. Really twist. I mean, only to the point that you're comfortable, of course. Good, activating those lungs. Good, back to center, nice and slow. Good, close your eyes. Let's have palms up by your side and let's just take a breath. Qigong gives you this opportunity to slow down, to relax into the space right where you are, not having to be anywhere else. So let's press our palms away from one another to strengthen our legs. We're going to invigorate our spine. So we're going to clasp your fingers together around the upper back and press your arms out, chin to the chest on the exhale. Keep the fingers locked, bring the arms overhead, so keep them clasped, bring the elbows down and press the elbows together and back up. Good, arms to the side, press palms out, ear to one side. So, but instead of the palms out, I want you to point the thumbs down, okay? This, if you point your thumbs down to the earth, we're activating the lung meridian, okay? So thumbs down, yeah, it's perfect, okay. Stretching, so again, stretch the liver meridian. Let's do the ear to the shoulder. Go forward and back, just a couple times. Chin to the chest, other side. So this is another way to activate the lines of tension into the neck. So before we had our hands down at our waist, now we have our hands up at the shoulder. So it's going to access different meridians that come all the way from the arms, all the way through the shoulders to the neck and the head. So So the reason we're doing palms down and thumbs to the earth is, again, we're really wanting to activate that lung, large intestine meridian that we were working on with acupressure, okay? All right, so we're gonna do Tai Chi. So this is a Tai Chi form. It's just the opening form, okay? So now we're gonna float our arms up, inhale, and exhale as you come down. Perfect. This is called opening the flow. Qigong mirrors the movement of water as a way to access relaxation, inner peace, and creativity. So when your body relaxes, your mind relaxes. When the body is open, your mind is open. Inhale up, exhale down. Now your mind and body, we know they're intimately connected. When the body is healthy and energized, the mind is strong, focused, and clear. So in this one, breathe the arms up to the shoulders and drop down, pull back and drop down. So again, this is called opening the flow. Now flow signifies water, so let your body mirror the movements of water. Relax, let go, and flow. Inhale, now float your arms up. You can also exhale, push forward. Inhale, come back. Good. You can open up your arms to the sides. You can expand your horizons, open up your mind, right? Bring that perspective back to your center and down. So it doesn't have to be any right way to do it. Inhale, draw your arms up. Exhale, push forward. Just relax into that flow. Now open your arms to the side. Again, let your mind expand and then bring it back to the center. Expanding the horizon opens and awakens our consciousness for new potential and creativity. To the side, bring it back to the center and down. Good, one more.
Sorry for interrupting, but a few of us have to head out for a couple of other responsibilities. Yeah.
Okay, so do you want me to just finish it?
You can keep going, LeTa. They can catch it on the video or look it at the PDF. Some people will still be here. Bye, y'all.
Okay.
There's still a group of us that are here.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, come back to center. We'll do a few more. So we're going to do the liver. So we did the lung, which is Buddha holds up the earth. We're going to do the liver, which is like tree swaying in the wind. So we're going to turn to the side and you're going to inhale your hands all the way up to your eyes and come back to center and exhale forward, the hands. Good. We're going to turn to the side. We're going to inhale. So like your hands, you can feel like you're grabbing the energy, the roots of the tree all the way up your side, bringing it to your head, to your eyes, and then exhale down. Good. So turning. So think of yourself as a tree. You're grabbing the energy from the roots of the tree, bringing it up so you can have clear vision. That's why you're bringing that energy all the way up to your eyes. The liver governs stress. And so we're clearing our eyes so we can actually see clearly. If you can see clearly, you might see the stress differently. So we're focused on that breath. Breathing in, nice relaxed exhale. Good, we're finding that calm. And then the standing posture is embracing the tree. So we just keep our shoulders down. And it's like you're hugging a tree, a redwood tree. And then we're breathing. You can breathe into the belly, the ribs, drop your breath down to your center. I like to close my eyes just for a second. And we just feel that movement. Feel the stress leaving our body. Feel the empowerment, the strength we have from this self-care practice. Good, hands by your sides, eyes closed. Feel your energy systems open. I want you to feel your power. Good. Let's pull down the heavens. So waves of relaxation downward. It's going to calm your heart and mind. Good. Breathing in and then exhale down. So what I like to do with pulling down the heavens is I like to have my eyes open. I'm looking up. I picture like the sun, and then I close my eyes as I wash my hands over my front of my body. So I inhale up. So I'm reminding myself this connection to heaven, something bigger than me. I'm also noticing during this form, my feet are firmly planted on the ground. I'm in between heaven and earth. I feel supported by Mother Earth. I'm connected in relationship with my Creator. And it's like I'm saying this gratitude, like I'm so grateful for this. And I just wash my body with this reminder. Good. And then we put our hands over our belly. It's called bamboo in the wind. Our feet are together. And there's a little bit of a rocking. So you could do forward and back, a little bit of a rocking and swaying. And this is when our eyes are closed. And this is the posture I do at the end of usually my class. So a little bit swaying. So bring the breath into the palms. Relax the shoulders. Peace, relaxation, tranquility, joy. Those are our natural states. When we allow ourselves to drop in, we can access these energies within. I want you to relax your neck and shoulders. Now, the rock and sway movements help you connect with your heart center. Heart is the organ of connection that goes beyond time and space. Feel connected, feel how connected and grounded you are. Feel that relaxation permeating through your whole body. You've just energized and awakened full body intelligence. I want you to take this feeling with you into the rest of your day. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope that was helpful. I am so glad to be here with Liberty Rising and Digital Nest, and I have the PDFs and I have the 4 videos for you that you can watch. I think they're like 10 or 13 minutes each to go through acupressure for immunity, acupressure for stress reduction, Qigong for stress reduction, and Qigong to actually, I think we only made 1 Qigong video. And does anyone have any questions? Thanks, Louis. Okay, amazing. Well, the last thing I was going to say, because I was going to share this screen, last closing words, is that many people today seek answers to questions that I get asked a lot about how to have more fulfilling relationships, or how can I achieve better results in work? Or of course, as a doctor, I get asked, how do I deal with a particular symptom or feeling? Now, I want to impart to you that in order to change behavior or achieve personal growth, we have to develop this one capacity. We have to develop the ability to create the mental and emotional space inside ourselves to observe and understand what we do, what we think about, and why we do it. Okay. And I want to stress, and notice the slide, with regular practice of self-care, you can utilize this time to slow down and begin to see more clearly on where and how we may be stuck, and how you can make conscious choices to do and be something different. And you experience, life is how you feel, how you name what's going on around you and in you. And I'm here to remind you that each of us, have the power that you need to heal and have the relationships you crave and live the life you want. So it starts with saying yes to understanding the value of consistent, holistic self-care practices. That's really important. So I'm Dr. LeTa. You can find me at drleta.com. I'm so grateful to be here with you all. And Melissa, thank you so much for having me. It's really been a pleasure.
Have you been by the the food bin recently? Their little marquee says, self-care is how you take your power back. And I think
Oh,
that's so
yes,
true.
I live on the west side.